Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we'll talk about the complete roadmap for coding from scratch. So many people ask me how do we start coding and there are a lot of resources around. So from where should we start? So today I'll talk about the complete roadmap. So well, yes, there are a lot of resources around Lead Code, Code Forces, InterviewBit, Geeks for Geeks, CodeChef, and there are many resources. So people are confused like from where should we actually start coding? What is the requirement? Do we directly go to Geeks for Geeks or do we directly go to InterviewBit for practicing coding or should we directly start competitive programming? So from where we should actually start coding, let's talk about this. So in this video, I'll talk about what programming language we should choose for coding, what all prerequisites there are, what algorithm knowledge we should have, what data structure knowledge we should have, how do we actually practice, and few tips for the coding practice. So I'll talk about all this in this video. If you like, please hit like button. So first and foremost, what is the programming language that we should choose for coding? So there are a lot of languages, right? C, C++, Java, Python. So let's pick one. So if I talk about C language here, so C is not suitable for competitive programming because it does not have built-in libraries. So here you have to implement everything from scratch. And if I talk about rest of the three languages, so Java is mostly used in industries. So if you're starting coding from scratch right now, so you can go for Java, but mostly I prefer using C++ for competitive programmings because the STL in C++ is very easy and you can easily use it for competitive programming. So you can use either of these three languages for competitive programming, but I will suggest that C is not that suitable for competitive programming. So now let's see what other things we need for competitive programming. So first and foremost important thing is knowledge of algorithms. So algorithms is like what algorithm we should need for coding. So there are a lot of different algorithms that we can use, but always there is a way or scope of getting better. So there is a time complexity, there is a space complexity, and a problem can be solved in order of n square. It can also be solved in order of n. It can also be solved in order of log n. So we should always have knowledge of what time and space complexity our solution used, and this is also asked in a lot of interviews that the solution that you have provided, what time and space complexity is used. So this knowledge is very important and I can make detailed video on this as well further. So now let's talk about data structures, what all knowledge of data structures we should have before we start coding. So let's talk about this. So first and foremost, there is a basic theory. So you have to practice at least bare minimum problems from the geeks. Now, what I do is I divide the problems in the category easy, medium and hard. So when you go first round, like first round of the coding problems, when you understand the problems, you should be able to do at least the easy problems of all the data structure categories. So what happens is when you come back to the data structure, you should be able to do the medium level problems. So from the Geeks for Geeks page, you should be at least be able to divide the problems in easy, medium and hard, and then you first at least be able to do easy problems. And the bonus problems are always available in LeetCode, InterviewBit, HackerRank. You can always practice the problems from InterviewBit, LeetCode and HackerRank. That's not very big thing, but first and foremost it's like maths, right? You should understand the concept first. You should understand how I start from coding, what data structure is, what it is. So you should at least do the easy problem. Now let's talk about the different data structures. So first and foremost is arrays. So same, you should do the bare minimum from the Geeks for Geeks page. You should also do the 2D array implementation matrix, and you should also do the standard array problems like searching, sorting. So in arrays, if you do this, it's enough to start ahead. So now let's talk about strings. So you should understand how strings can be created in different languages. Like, is it a char pointer, a character array, or a string? And now before learning string, you should understand the standard template library implementation because there are lot of different functions that can be directly used to solve the string problems. Like map can be used to solve the string problems. There is pattern searching that you should understand in the string. And first is simple. You should do the geeks problem and then you can practice the problems in the lead code. And in the lead code as well, there are easy, medium and hard category that you can always go ahead. Now let's see what knowledge of other data structures like linked list, stack, queue you should have. So you should understand the implementation of these data structures from scratch. Insertion, deletion, creation, everything. And otherwise you can use standard template libraries as well to implement linked list, stacks and queues. Apart from this, there are other data structures like tree-based data structures as well, like binary trees, binary search trees, heaps and tries. And these data structures are very important. A lot of coding questions come from these data structures. And A lot of interview problems also come from tries, especially the string problems and heaves, binary trees. So you should understand the algorithms for insertion, creation, deletion. You should also understand how much time, complexity all these operations take, and you should implement everything from scratch. So first thing is always implement everything, trees and everything from scratch, and then you can do all the problems apart from the implementation. The coding problems you can also solve from Geeks for Geeks, and there are a lot of problems on Lead Code. You can also try HackerRank for this. So there are a lot of problems you can try for tree-based data structure. This is very, very important. One thing I want to add here is you should have knowledge of recursion and backtracking before you start tree-based data structure, because that forms a base for tree-based data structure questions. So now let's see what's left. So one most important thing left is graphs. So in graphs you do not have direct library implementation. So you should understand the implementation of graphs using adjacency list, metrics, and then you should understand the traversals of the graph, DFS and BFS. So it can be asked directly, or there can be indirect questions for DFS and BFS as well. Like a lot of questions you will see that will be solved by graph, and they won't be directly asked like, okay, do a BFS of this, but it will be solved by graph. And then you can do some standard problem of graph. Graph is very simple. You should do just the standard problem, Prim's, Kruskal, Dijkstra, topological sort and everything. So if you do all these standard problems, it's enough, and you just try variations of the DFS and BFS, like implementation where it can be used, some sample problems. So it should be enough for you to solve the graph. Now let's talk about another important topic, that is dynamic programming. So I will say dynamic programming is not very straightforward, but if you solve the standard problems on Geeks, there are some 20 standard problems on Geeks, then you should be able to solve the variation of these standard problems as well. So start with the standard problem and then you can solve the variations. So you should have knowledge of recursion, backtracking, and this dynamic programming, it sets the base of competitive programming. So the problems in the competitive programming are mostly based on dynamic programming. So you should understand this dynamic programming as well. So now after having knowledge of all these data structures and having practiced all these basic data structure questions, so how you move ahead, how you actually improvise your coding practice. So the first and most important thing is timed practice. So it's not like you take a question and you solve it on your ease, and whatever time you want to spend, you spend on it. So after having practiced some problems, you should have timed practice. Like in the time boundary, you should try and solve the problem. Now the next thing is you should solve before checking the solution. So now it's like maths, you know, if you have solved 10 problems, then the 11th problem you should try and solve by yourself. So similarly it's the coding. So you should try to solve the solution first, and then you see the solution, okay, and then there are variations of the solution. So if you solve a problem in one way, you should always check the other methods as well, because maybe that other method is easy, or it's more beneficial, or maybe it adds something, some knowledge to your previous solutions. You should always check the other solutions as well, or maybe you can improve on the time complexity as well, or the space complexity. So you should check the other problems as well. So now there are some tips and tricks from my end so that you can improve your coding and you can take your coding to the next level. So is it that simple? Let's see. I will say it's not that simple, but there are some tips that you can follow to improve your coding practice. So what you have to do is you have to divide the problems in easy, medium and hard. So you will know that what level you have reached. Now when you come back to coding, like you start coding after some time again, so you should not start from the scratch. So because you won't be able to cross easy level, you will again and again come back to the easy level only. So you should start from the last solved problem. So in that way, whenever you will come back, you will be able to solve some more problems. So this way you will be able to increase your difficulty level. And simple as I explained, coding is like maths. The more problems you do, the more knowledge you have, and the more confidence you will have to solve the other problems as well. And you should try to write code by yourself. This is very, very important, and this will add a good practice to your coding skill. Now you should know some tricks, like map can solve lot of string problems, or DFS, BFS can solve lot of problems, or you should always find the relative problems. Like, okay, this problem is solved in this way. There are other problems also that can be solved in the similar way. So you should always find the related problems, and you should always learn to implement from scratch. This adds knowledge. So after having done all this, what is the future roadmap? What are your next steps and goals? So you should start participating in online competitions. So start Attempting this online competition will help boost your confidence. You will get to know the latest problem, what is in trend. You should start competitive coding, and you should think of the new problems as well. Now there is another thing. We wait for us to become 100% perfect, then only we'll move ahead. We'll say, okay, we know coding. So there is no 100% perfect. So you should always start moving ahead by having practice. This much whatever I have explained in the video. So there's nothing 100% in the coding. You always learn as you grow. And that's all from my side for this video. Thanks for watching. Please help in sharing with the aspirers, and I'll come with more content. Please comment what I can make for the next video, and please subscribe.